What's up, guys? It's Dominique, aka That Therapist. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the lead clinician and CEO for a group practice known as Yellow Bird Counseling. What is that? What is a Yellow Bird Counseling? What does it do? Well, our normal day-to-day activities consist of providing individual, couples, family, group therapies for children, adults, adolescents, young adults, elderly. We do all that in several different states. I'm getting that state list updated for y'all because we do have new clinicians on staff who have multi-state license. So that's to come, but know that we're primarily in Alabama. We do provide in-person and virtual appointments in the state of Alabama. Again, we have other states. I just need to get the list updated before I start spewing out states, right? So there's that. That's what we do for our normal day-to-day activities. But what do we do here on social media? Well, here on social media, we present topics that the general population can relate to and tie it back to how we could all benefit from having a therapist outside of having a mental illness. Because y'all know what y'all be thinking. Oh, something's wrong with me if I go to see a therapist. Or, oh, I'm not crazy if I go see a therapist. Or I don't need to talk to nobody because I can fix myself type shit. Y'all know how y'all be. So what I do on Thursday evenings at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. Mountain, we discuss topics that help the general population understand why therapy is important for all of us, even if we don't have a mental illness, even if we're not dealing with a therapeutic concern. Okay. Excuse me. So even tonight's topic, even though it is centered around suicide prevention, it's more so geared toward what can family and friends be on the lookout when dealing with a loved one, a close somebody to you that could be at risk for attempting or completing suicide. Okay? Those are the correct terms for it. Attempting or completing suicide. Okay? So we're going to get into it. You know, y'all can ask y'all questions or what have you or whatnot. Do what you need to do. And we'll get going. This month is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So, of course, I would be remiss not to do a series on it. So, of course, we have an entire month of awareness and different things to consider when talking about and bringing awareness to suicide. Okay? So, let's get started. So warning signs are important, especially for loved ones, because it's just like, what do we look for? Or if you've ever had somebody in your life who has been a victim and or survivor of suicide, then you know that there are a lot of thoughts that come with that. Thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome to the Trapness emote. Welcome to the Trapness emote. It's the welcome to the Trapness emote. Welcome to the Trapness emote. If y'all could drop the welcome to the Trapness emotes in the chat. And if y'all could get me to 40 shares, please. 40 shares and 20K taps. We can do it together. Let's all work together. Let's work together. Okay? So yeah, it's really, really important for us to be aware because there are a lot of times when loved ones feel like, oh man, if I would have known, blah, 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 blah. But really and truly, to be honest, if somebody has really made up in their mind that that's what they're going to do, then there's very little family members or loved ones can do. So being preventative, looking out for warning signs is definitely better than not having any awareness at all, right? So, let's talk about it. What does it look like? What does it look like? What can we expect to maybe hear from a friend or family member who could be possibly considering attempting suicide? Well, the behavior list below may be some of the signs that someone is thinking about suicide. So they talk about it, of course. Okay, so and there is some. When I was in grad school, and we were talking when I was in my suicidology class, we talked about people So sorry, guys, over here. My signal went out, but I'm back now. All right. So, okay. let's continue. So, yeah. So, feeling as though you're a burden or feeling as though you're a problem to someone or many people to where it wears on you. So that is also a warning sign for somebody. Not saying that all people that feel like they're a burden plan to attempt suicide, but definitely it is a warning sign. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, so in addition to some talking points that people may have when they feel like this, what are some ways, specific emotions that they may experience? Would y'all like to take a guess about specific emotions that a person would experience when contemplating suicide? Sadness is good. Sadness is good. What else? Anger, bliss, euphoria. Those are interesting. Why would you think bliss and euphoria? Happiness, maybe? Y'all tell me why y'all think happiness. That's interesting. Let's talk about what we have on the list. Empty. They may express or feel empty or express feeling empty. They tend to be content with their decision. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, I get where y'all are coming from. Feeling freedom or just, relief. I gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. Those are good answers. But let's see what we have here. We have emptiness, hopelessness, having feelings of being trapped, like feeling trapped or having no reason to live. Extreme sadness, anxiety, maybe agitated or full of rage. I'm sorry. I don't know what else. Full of rage. So rage. Thank you. Yes, if y'all could tap this orange heart me at the top of your screen, that would be great. If you could tap that up there in the upper left of your screen, that would be magnificent. Also, we only got 10 more shares, guys. We can do this. Do y'all think we can get? Thank you. Do y'all think we can get them 10 more shares? Do you think we can? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Do y'all think we can get them? We can, y'all. We can. Let's do it. Only 10 more. That's nothing. Come on. That's light work. All right. So, things that you may experience or a loved one may experience as far as feelings are concerned when we're talking about suicidology, emptiness, hopelessness, feeling trapped, or having no reason to live. Feeling extremely sad, maybe more anxious than normal, maybe agitation, or full of rage. Unbearable emotional or physical pain. That's what it is. That's really what it is. When a person gets to the point of making a decision such as this one, such as so final, there is an immense amount of pain that's going on. Okay. So that is the thing that I want you really to take away from this. And in the event, hopefully no, heaven forbid. But if you have been in this situation, or if you ever have to face this situation with someone, know that it's the unbearable pain that they're experiencing. I want everybody to think of how you've ever felt when you've been in any kind of pain. And maybe the lengths that you may have gone to try to end that pain, right? Especially if you've had an immense amount of physical pain. Think of things that that people around you may do, okay? And sometimes those ways of seeking comfort aren't always either the healthiest or the most adaptive ways. It's just how to survive or how to rid yourself of what you're feeling at that point. Or maybe you yourself have been in that position and you know what it feels like to just feel so much pain that it just feels easier to end your existence in order to end that pain, because the pain seems such a part of you, right? That it seems as though the only way that you can end it is to end yourself, because the pain is so embedded in who you are. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Are y'all grasping that? Only 8 more shares, y'all. Only 8 more shares. And then we can all work together on tapping. Because I think we could get to 20K, honestly. Right? Okay. Kind of questions. I want to be sure I'm not missing any questions. I think everybody's pretty much following so far at this point. Okay. Another thing that you may want to look at is changes in behavior, not just the behavior that they're already experiencing, but what has their behavior changed from? So making a plan or researching ways to unalive. So if a person has a plan, that's a big indicator of risk for suicide. Withdrawing from friends, saying goodbye, giving away important items, or making a will, which that one can get tricky because some people say that it's a good idea to make a will. But if they're doing that in conjunction with other things, definitely you want to press into that with them. What's on my eye? Oh, I thought something was on my eye. Okay. Taking dangerous risks, such as driving extremely fast, displaying extreme mood swings, eating or sleeping more or less. So a lot of these also coincide with symptoms of depression as well. So symptoms of depression can be a warning sign for suicide. Not saying that everybody that experiences depression has a desire to attempt suicide, because that's definitely not the case. But I'm just pointing out the intersectionality between somebody who could be experiencing suicidal ideations and someone who is depressed, and how, because we're not sure what it is important to be assessed for both. Okay. I just want to make sure where I've been here. I've been here in my space. I'm trying to get back to going. Of course, y'all know I go live every Thursday evening, and that's the thing I've been doing for 5 years. I'm still trying to build my consistency around the Saturday live and the Tuesday live. Those are where I'm struggling. Thursday, you gonna get me unless it's like last week where I was in transit and I just couldn't because I was in the sky and there was no way I could go live in the air. Okay. But if I'm on the ground and not actively in transit, I will be here on Thursdays. But I'm working to build consistency with my Saturday and Tuesday lives that I told y'all that I'd be doing. Not y'all. Y'all are just used to me on Thursday. I'm talking to these people over here. So yeah, I've been here. I just don't be on messy talk like that. I be like watching, but I don't be engaging in messy talk because y'all motherfuckers is too messy. Let's get back to the topic. So changes in behavior, things that you would like, that you want to be on the lookout, or things that you may want to take seriously if you notice in yourself or a loved one. Making a plan or researching ways to unalive, withdrawing from friends, saying goodbye, giving away important items, or making a will. Taking dangerous risks such as driving extremely fast, displaying extreme mood swings, changes in eating way more or eating less, use of drugs or alcohol more often, like their substance consumption increases significantly. Okay, those are things that you would want to look for. So these are some really good warning signs, but let's talk more about, let's see, these are some resources. We'll probably come back to these because we're just going to do resource-based live with like all the resources that you can look to utilize if you or someone else is struggling with suicidal ideation. Okay, so we'll come back to that. We're just going to solely focus on the warning signs tonight. But if y'all have any questions, definitely please do feel free to ask them. All right. Let's see here. But why does it have me up here twice? That is wild. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. Y'all, I'm having some technical difficulties with my computer, so the connection has been like disengaging itself, and I've had to re-engage it. Okay, but recognizing that someone may be considering suicide can be uniquely challenging. Some people will display external signs if they're at risk or will be vocal about their considerations, okay? Others make an effort to conceal their suicidal ideations and hide their intentions from others. So it can be either or. You can either be vocal about it or you can be silent about it. Because it's important to know what's going on in another person's head. Oh, impossible. I'm sorry. Because it's impossible to know what's going on in another person's head, anyone who sees one or more of the below warning signs or simply suspects their loved one may be thinking of suicide, absent of any of the below, should ask if they are experiencing the below. As reaching out could help save a life. Despite widespread fears about such an inquiry, research has consistently shown that asking someone whether they are contemplating suicide will not put the idea in their head if it wasn't there to begin with. Okay? So you can ask a person directly, and it's not going to worsen the symptoms if they weren't thinking about it, but it could definitely make you privy to what they are feeling if they have been contemplating that. So it's very important. I'm going to see if there's any new ones. Okay, so showing signs of despair or have significant mood swings. We talked about that. Actually, we've talked about all of these. Those are the main ones. So again, if you missed them, if you're just joining, we'll talk about it again. So these are the signs, warning signs for suicidal behavior or possible suicidal ideations. We talked about in the last article, we talked about what a person may talk about, what a person could possibly be feeling or changes in their behavior. So this is just really a review of that list. Talks about feeling hopeless, worthless, trapped, or like he or she has no reason to live. Makes a will, gives away personal possessions, or tries to get her affairs in order. Searches for means to harm him or herself or their self, such as how to buy a pew-pew or access dangerous medications. Sleeping too much or too little, eating too much or too little, signs of despair or has significant mood swings, acts agitated, anxious, or aggressive, avoids other people, including loved ones, spends more time than usual alone, behaves recklessly, drinks alcohol or uses drugs excessively, has experienced severe life stressor recently, such as death of a spouse, the loss of a job, or a traumatic event, has attempted suicide or demonstrated suicidal behavior in the past. What are the most common indicators that someone is thinking about suicide? For those at risk of attempting suicide, abrupt changes in mood or behavior, including dramatic mood swings, or a sudden uplift in mood after a long period of despair. So those of you that were saying happiness, euphoria, that may come if it comes after a long period of despair, that is something you want to be aware of. Because these are common indicators that someone is contemplating ending their own life. Talking about feeling worthless, hopeless, like a burden, or like someone will be better off without them are common indicators of suicidal thoughts or behaviors. Some evidence suggests that feeling like a burden on others may be a particularly strong predictor of suicidal behavior, and that language to that effect should be taken seriously. Giving away needed possessions without a clear reason or saying goodbye to loved ones are also signs of potential suicidality that should be addressed. So definitely listen to how a person is talking. If they're talking about being a burden, if they're saying goodbye, if they're talking about giving away things like finalizing affairs, that's definitely a big indicator that something could potentially be going on. And again, it's okay to ask. Asking may save their life, okay? Whereas the myth is that if you do ask, it's going to put the idea in their head. That is a myth. Okay. Research shows that if the thought wasn't there already, you saying, hey, are you thinking about hurting yourself, is not going to put a thought in their head that they didn't have. But definitely can reveal a thought that they were not going to disclose otherwise. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? Y'all, we only need 4 more shares. Y'all can do 4 shares, right? Can't y'all do 4 more shares? And we're almost to 10K tabs. We're almost there, y'all. We are almost there. We are almost there. So if y'all can do the 4 more shares, right? We can do that and get to the 10K. Then we can get 10 more K. Right? So there's the question, can someone unalive by suicide without displaying any warning signs? Absolutely they can. Absolutely. There may be no warning signs. There's 2 types of people. And when I was in grad school, they had us do like, there's actually, we had like a 4 square of like 4 types of behavioral characteristics that you would look for in someone who is at risk for suicidality. Yes, some people take their lives impulsively or in response to severe and So, again, very important to not only ask questions. Very important to not only ask questions or ask those questions or ask questions specific to those warning signs. But it is also important to be aware of any of these warning signs. Build your awareness and also be willing to be the person that communicates it. It may not be the most comfortable, but it's like if you had to choose between your comfort and saving your loved one's life, which one would you choose in that circumstance? What would you choose if your two options are, I know if I don't say anything, I'll be comfortable, but if I do say something, it could 100% save my loved one's life? That is the question you have to ask yourself before you decide not to say anything at all. Okay? Okay. What kind of thoughts do y'all have? We're going to talk about, next week, we're going to talk about resources. Okay. So if you do have the situation, you do encounter the situation with a friend or family member, then you have the resources necessary in order to help them gain assistance. Because this is really hard, right? Super hard. Yay, 47 likes and almost 10K taps. Yay, we're at 10K taps and 47 shares. Y'all could do 50. Y'all could do 50 shares, right? Can y'all do 50 shares? Can y'all? One more. Oh, we made it. Yay. Perfect. All right. What kind of questions do y'all have? Pretty straightforward and to the point tonight, because we were just going to talk about the warning signs, right? What kind of questions do y'all have? Or concerns? Or was I making perfect sense and y'all are just following? We're just following along. Being a person that is a bystander to a loved one that has these feelings, or even being that person yourself, guys, it is a very delicate topic, okay? Sometimes it can help, depending on the person and the situation, to kind of like, it just depends. I'm not even going to say that because it really just depends. It really just depends. But being aware of the people that are around you and being sure that you're checking in with them, asking them how they're doing is really important, and asking them intentionally how they're doing. I'll say that. Being intentional about asking the people that you care about how they're doing, and not just saying, hey, how are you? But actually, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Those types of questions can be questions that save someone's life. Because if you're on the brink of feeling like ending it is the only option that you have, it could really just kind of grab somebody's attention. You'll know if you intentionally ask somebody how they're feeling, you'll get an answer, because most people don't intentionally ask that question. And you'll probably get, more often than not, an honest answer, unless the person is so already just so dead set on what they want to do, that they expect for that question to be asked, and so they're able to mask. But people that aren't, maybe even people that are making this decision more impulsively after something traumatic happens, you ask them how they're feeling, they may be more inclined to tell you more truthfully. Okay? What kind of questions do y'all have? What kinds of questions do you have? I'm just going to go on ahead and tell y'all it's going to be a Cash App giveaway next week for subs only. So you definitely want to be sure that your subscription is renewed or obtained before next week, because we will definitely be doing a Cash App giveaway. Okay? Just letting y'all know. I've definitely got to do better by asking my friends more often. Yes. I think we all could do better with that. I don't know anybody that's just exquisite at asking people how they're feeling. Because truth be told, while our intentions may be good, we are self-centered beings, right? So we're more centered on what's going on with ourselves than what's going on with other people. Even me as a therapist, not asking people in my personal life how they're doing, I could probably do better about that, right? So, because I'm not their therapist, it's procedural for me to ask that in therapy and to probe and do this kind of stuff in therapy, but I'm not trying to do therapy on my loved ones. So sometimes I may lack normal compassion, trying not to be a therapist to people who I'm not their therapist to, right? For me, that's my hang up. Like, am I trying? I don't want them to think I'm trying to therapize them. So I may not engage things for my own fear of thinking they're going to think I'm trying to therapize them, because people do think that, are you trying to do therapy? You don't need to do that therapy. And it's like, no, I'm literally just engaging in normal conversation. So I could do better about it myself, even as a practitioner for people in my personal life. I'm great at it in session, but that's because that's what I'm trained to do and that's what I'm there to do. But personal life, definitely I could do better. Okay. What else y'all got? Yep, therapize is actually not even a real word. It's a made up word that us therapists made up for people who are our friends or family member who think we're trying to psychoanalyze them. Psychoanalysis is actually a type of therapy treatment. It's not necessarily like I'm not even gonna go into it. It's just a therapy theory. Okay, it's a theory. It's a methodology for performing therapy. But people think you want to psychoanalyze them. What they're saying is you're trying to therapize them, which is not a real word. It's made up, but it's fun to use. So yeah, with that, that's why, listening to this, we're going to go over the resources next week, and all you really can do is offer resources. Even me as a therapist, I can't help somebody who doesn't want it. All I can do is come equipped with the tools to help them. But if they don't want the help, it doesn't matter what kind of tools I have or how great of a therapist I am. I can't therapize motivation and I can't therapize desire. So if I can't do it, you probably won't be able to do it either as a loved one. It hurts to even think that you may have missed a chance to save a friend or family member. Yeah, it is hurtful, but remember, everybody's not going to be vocal, and oftentimes people that complete suicide go to great lengths to keep it hidden. Okay? So if someone is hiding something, and then on top of that, you can't read minds, it's just moving forward what we can do and moving forward how we can ask questions. But even then, there's no guarantee that that's going to be enough, right? But it's better to do that if you know to do that than to not. I don't know why. Okay. Yup. So And it's a sucky feeling, guys. Sometimes the feeling of or the thoughts of suicidal ideations are so intrusive, right? You may not even want to be thinking those thoughts, and they're just thoughts that you think. I've experienced it myself, right? So it's hard. But just asking somebody how they're feeling could be the thing that it takes. So if you don't take anything else away from this tonight, or remember all of the warning signs, remember asking somebody can't hurt. Remember that. Asking someone can't hurt. Asking someone can definitely do more good than bad. That's what I want you to take away. That asking the question can do more good than bad. Oh, it didn't. Okay. That's so. I don't know why it wouldn't work. I had to when I was in my early 20s. Okay. Which one? Oh, ask the question? Yeah, a smile. A smile can definitely be helpful. You just never know. We're so deprived of compassion from others, true compassion from others, that when you actually show genuine compassion to somebody, you may get a response you never seen before that they didn't even expect to give you, right? Y'all are talking real good tonight. Y'all are talking real good. No, I had intrusive thoughts of no longer wanting. Yeah. Those intrusive thoughts of not wanting to be here, y'all. Oh, they are rough. Whoo, they are rough. They're not easy. So I don't ever want y'all to take it personal when somebody that you love has experienced or is experiencing those thoughts, because as the person experiencing it, it is hard. It's rough. And it took a minute oftentimes for them to get there, or something really traumatic and hard had to happen, right? For a person to get there, right? And there's only so much all of us can take. So remember that. While their breaking point and your breaking point might be different, we all do have a breaking point. Okay? So it's very important not to personalize it or assign fault to them or yourself for the way that they feel, because there is a genuine mental health concern, right? It's just like would it make sense to get mad at somebody for sneezing if they have a cold? Not sneezing without covering their mouth. I'm just talking about sneezing in general. Let's say they cover their mouth. Why are you sneezing? How crazy is that? Isn't that weird? So it's the same with suicidality. Even though it feels more emotionally impactful, you have to understand that the person that is experiencing the emotion is going through a hard time. It's hard. The pain they're feeling feels too immense to deal with. Again, think back to any pain that you've wanted to end, physical or emotional, and maybe the lengths that you might have gone through to end that pain yourself. Right? All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? No? Okay. Well, good. I'm glad that we started off with this. Again, we're going to circle back to resources next week. I just felt like it would be a better idea to break them up so people could really absorb this topic, because it is so serious. And the numbers of suicidality or number of attempted and completed suicide continues to rise. So with that being said, I wanted to treat this topic very delicately and not just speed through it. Okay. So that's what we're doing. All right, Facebook and YouTube, I will see you guys next week. Have a good weekend.